Diram Show. Ready for the show? Hashtag Sadika Diram Show.
And we're back with you, still discussing the issue of side chick. I'm now joined by Marie Berbick. She is the founder of Sofer, and she will be taking a different approach to this issue. Nice to have you, Marie.
Thank you, Sadika. Pleasure.
Let's define what is Sofer.
It's Sisters United for Prayer, Healing, Empowerment, and Restoration.
And your take on the side chick culture in Jamaica?
You know, they always say to each his own. So I've listened to what has been said before, and everybody's situation is different. There are women who they look at this kind of lifestyle, it's fine for them because they don't want anything else. They don't want to be wives. And then there are women who they get into it because in the beginning they didn't know that's what they were getting into. So, you know, you have to look at it from everybody. Each person, their experience might be very different, but it's not something that I think should be glamorized. Shouldn't.
Why do you think it's almost like that? No.
It's almost like
being glamorized, you know, people talking so highly about being side chick, not afraid to even discuss it, and in some instances attempting to break up families.
Because a lot of women know their principles are not biblical. They live their lives not based on what is wrong or what is right according to the Bible. People are living their lives based on what they're seeing on television, how they're being influenced by what is happening in North America or other developing countries. There are so many reality shows, and what you're seeing there is what is influencing a lot of women. They don't want to be wives. They don't want to take on the responsibility of running a household, having children, taking care of a man, making sure his clothes are clean, and that the household is run properly. They want to be the person who is in the background, who can get the money, get your bills paid, and you don't have those responsibilities. They don't want that kind of, you know, that kind of pressure.
But I used to think the desire was to be wife.
Not for everybody, apparently. There are some women who their goal is to become the wife, and they get involved in these situations. For example, you meet a man. The man doesn't tell you he's married. You find out after you become emotionally attached. And those are the difficult situations, because you can have decent, nice women, you know, who really want to have a husband, and you see this person as a prospect. You don't know the person is married, so you become emotionally attached. By the time you find out, it's late. So it's easy for somebody to say to you, break it off, and you want to break it off deep inside, but it doesn't happen because there's an emotional attachment. For another woman who's just looking at it from the surface and really wants something materialistic, it's easy for her. You know, if she wants to just continue, or if she wants to break it off and go and find somebody else.
Do you find in your organization you've had to counsel women who would have gone through situations like what you just explained?
Yes, it's not strange. It's not strange at all. There are many women out there who really want husbands, but somehow the pickings are few in terms of finding good men. Men are out there, don't let anybody fool you and tell you that you can't find men. You can find men. But the kind of men that we're probably looking for, it's not easy to find them. And a lot of them are already taken. So you find that women will gravitate towards certain kind of men. You have married men who definitely know how to treat a woman, so he will be attractive to a woman looking on from outside. And some women will see that and they want to be in that situation, and they gravitate toward him. There are other women who do not know, and they gravitate toward this man and find out later that he's married.
People who are in these relationships sometimes are comforted by the idea that every man cheats.
That's a very difficult one, because it's easy to have that perception that every man cheats, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. There are good men out there, decent men, men who are guided by certain morals and principles, and they're not going to cheat on their wives. Then you also have men who are very good men, and they're married to some women who turned out to be a disaster for them. You know, and they treat them, yes, they treat the men so bad that the men start looking outside for comfort that they're not getting at home. So you have different scenarios, but I don't believe that, you know, it's inevitable and every man is going to cheat. There are good men who will not cheat.
Do you think there's a self-esteem issue associated with somebody who wants to be a side chick and takes pleasure in being a side chick?
Yes, yes. If you knowingly get into these situations and continue to get into them, it's like a cycle, then obviously something is wrong. It can be a self-esteem issue. Also, not everybody is spiritual, but there are spiritual explanations as well for why some women will do that kind of thing.
Like what?
You may find that for generations within a family, you have certain women auntie probably was with a married man and she sit there the whole her life waiting on him, and he never leaves his wife and never marries her. You will find that maybe a sister comes and does the same thing, and then you come and you do the same thing. If you speak to someone who is a spiritual and is into the church, they will tell you that there are things known as generational curses. It can be a generational curse, and something that you have to go through deliverance and a lot of prayer to overcome.
If persons want to get in touch with your organization,
you can call us at 788-7871. Or you can go to our Facebook page. Just look for SUFAG on Facebook.
And this is SUFPAGR. Talk to somebody now who is in a side chick, who is in one of those complicated relationships and would love to be out and struggling to get out.
If you're in a relationship with somebody who is already taken, you really want to find someone for yourself, you need to start getting down into prayer. Don't let anybody sit down and tell you that you will get over this without some kind of spiritual help, because many times you do need prayer and you need the support of other persons. If you are the kind of woman who is ambitious and you really want a man of your own, someone is out there for you. Don't give up.
Thank you so much, Marie. And thank you, our viewers, for tuning in this week. I am Sanika Dharma. Do hope that you found our discussion quite interesting and empowering as well. Do join us right here next week, same time. Pleasant viewing.
Bossa bossa wine, bossa bossa wine, bossa wine, bossa bossa wine, bossa bossa wine. Bossa bossa wine, bossa bossa wine, bossa wine, bossa bossa wine, bossa bossa wine. Bossa bossa wine, bossa bossa wine, bossa wine, bossa bossa wine, bossa bossa wine. Bossa bossa wine, bossa bossa wine, 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 bossa bossa wine, bossa bossa wine. Swag daddy, tell the girl it's a wine and thing. Wine in a hot tub, wine in a spring. Me love the wine where you a bring. You know, say me a DJ, but baby girl, they make me wanna sing. I know what me a fling. Them only a blink, them don't hurt a thing. Take the nigga low, show them the whining thing. Show them how you make your waist spin. Let me holler like.
The Sadika Diaram Show was brought to you by ARD2K, unique in every way.